Hi, everybody. I hope you can hear me okay. My name is Christoph. I'm going to be hosting the support call today. And finally, we have a Saturday support call. I'm sitting in a hotel room in Rothenburg-Würme, which is in the north of Germany in Lower Saxony. And I hope the internet connection is fine. And I also hope there will be no disturbance in between for us. So I see a lot of hands today. Lawrence is already unmuted. Lawrence, maybe you just like to speak up.
Uh, yes. Okay,
Okay.
starting quickly. Here I am. Yeah. I would like to request facilitation for something. Um, Today I've been feeling for a few hours a very strong inner pressure,
Mhm.
which I would like some help releasing on.
Okay. So is there any topic associated with that, any issue, or is it just that pressure?
No, interestingly, there's no issue.
Okay,
It's
good.
just like
Maybe
there's like a sense of
okay, it's
whatever.
just a feeling that wants to be released.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Lawrence, so are you wanting to change it?
So what?
Are you wanting to change that feeling, that pressure?
Very much, yeah.
Hmm. So could you let go wanting to change it as best you can?
Right now, no.
Okay, could you hold on?
Yeah, I'm holding on here.
Okay. And how does it feel right now? Is that pressure there right now in this moment?
It is, yeah.
Okay. Could you just simply allow yourself to be with that since you're already having it?
Just for now, yeah.
Mhm. And then could you also notice where that sensation, that pressure isn't? Do you have,
Yeah.
is there a gap anywhere or some spaciousness anywhere?
No, it's actually only in like two or three places in the body.
Mhm. Mhm. And then could you welcome any remaining sense of pressure?
Yes.
And if there is to any wanting to change it, fix it, or hold on to it, release it, understand it,
There is, yeah.
Mhm. As well as any sense of identity with that, that this pressure or sensation belongs to a you or to a me. That's personal.
Yeah.
Mhm. And just for now, just a very tiny bit, could that be released? Could it be set free? Could it
I'm
dissolve?
open to the possibility, yeah.
Okay. And then could you welcome any remaining sense of pressure?
Yeah.
And if there is also any wanting to have that, any wanting to experience that, if there is,
Somehow there is, yeah.
yes, we sometimes have that. There's something we never want to have for ourselves, and secretly we are hoping to having it for ourselves.
And strangely enough, but yeah.
In summary, who knows? Okay, how are you now? How do you feel now, Lawrence?
Pressure is still there.
Mhm.
Still experienced as unpleasant, painful.
Mhm. And is there any wanting to do anything with or about that?
Yes, there's a wanting for it to go away.
Okay. Is the wanting to go away allowed right here, right now?
Yeah.
And is there an underlying wanting for control, approval, security, separation, or oneness?
Control.
Mm-hmm. And could that wanting control be allowed to be here?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And does it bring up more wanting? Any wanting approval, security, or separation oneness?
Somewhat, yeah, there's also approval in the mix. Some kind of approval for suffering.
Mm-hmm. So whatever color that wanting or sensation has, it might be a mixed one. Could that be allowed to be here? Just for now?
I want to relax and to feel content instead of pressure.
Okay. Could you let go of wanting to relax and allow yourself to relax instead?
At least a bit, yeah.
Okay, good. And how does it feel now? Is it changing?
Yeah, I'm becoming more and more tired.
Okay.
Very, very intensely tired, actually.
Could that also allow to be here?
Yeah. And the feeling is letting go a bit.
The tiredness sometimes can also be a sign of releasing. I
Yeah,
often
yeah, yeah.
felt yearning during the retreats, and I knew
Oh,
this well before, so that's a sign of releasing too sometimes.
yeah.
Or you just relax, or you just notice how exhausted the body actually is.
Exactly, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
when you will start relaxing, you feel that the tiredness has been there all the time, but it's like,
Yes. Maybe that is what's hidden behind the pressure.
yeah.
Mhm. And could you also welcome the aliveness, that which is awake?
Yes.
Or if awake is too much to say, if there's so much tiredness, could there also be welcome that which is just simply aware?
Yeah, yeah. Awareness, yeah.
Mhm. And is there any remaining sense of pressure?
A bit, yeah.
Mhm. Could you allow that to be here?
Yeah.
City Route to Sedona. Head southeast on Regolo Place, then turn right onto East H Street.
And I'm turning right onto East Street.
As reason she was unmuted. Probably she drives in the car. With the navigation system. Maybe it's part of the release as well, or is maybe you needed that. Or we needed that, all of us.
We definitely needed it.
So, how does it feel?
Yeah, it's opening quite nicely actually. There's it seems like there's more love and
Yeah.
compassion for all the feelings and grief and
Yeah.
pressure.
Yes. Could you allow for that as well? Could there be an allowing for that or even a permission?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh God.
And is there any remaining sense of pressure or any sensation that looks like a pressure?
Yeah, a bit, yeah.
Could you save it for later?
Yeah, I could, yeah. Save it for tomorrow. I
At
need
least
something to work on tomorrow.
looking for the garbage of yesterday. We all do this. Don't you tell me.
I didn't understand what was yesterday.
What drama did I have not yesterday?
What drama?
You did not suffer that long with that drama like that. Let's have that experience again. So could you let go, wanting to save that for later? Just a
Yes.
little. And could you
Yes.
allow yourself to welcome a more positive possibility or option, outcome?
Yes. The possibility is that I could actually let it all go and that's it.
Mhm.
And it might not even come back. And
No,
if it does, that's fine too.
who knows? And sometimes it looks like feelings coming back, but it's just more.
True. Yeah,
You
true.
actually let go in the past, but maybe there's then more at the
Good
moment.
point. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yes. So sometimes we think, oh, they released so much. Why do I have that feeling again? No, it's just more.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
low.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking that today.
Yes. So are you good for now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
It's a big relief. I was with that feeling long enough now for today.
Okay. Good.
Thanks a lot.
Sleep well.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I mute you. Bye-bye. So Michael has his hand up. Can you unmute yourself? Yes.
Sure. Good evening, Christoph. How are you?
Hi. I'm good.
Thank you.
And you?
I've been releasing for several hours now, going quite deep with sensations in my throat. So I want to keep going with that, please.
Yes. So could you allow yourself to be in touch with that for a moment?
Yes.
And is there a deeper wanting connected to that? Any wanting control, approval, security, separation, oneness?
Um,
Or does it bring any of those wantings?
More like a wanting to be clear. To be clear. Yeah.
So could you let go of wanting to be clear? Just of the wanting. Still be open to being clear.
Mm. I'm not sure. It's quite tricky.
You don't have to want to be clear in order to be clear. You could just let go of wanting to be clear, of the wanting. That wanting
Okay.
to change. It's a wanting to
Maybe
change the state of mind or the state of
yes.
emotion.
Maybe easier for me just to welcome how much I want it, just first of all, just for that transition. Yeah.
So how does it feel now in the throat?
There's there's stuff there. Yeah.
And are you wanting to change that
Yes.
experience? Okay.
Yes. Actually, it's certainly a noticing. And then there's first of all there's a noticing,
Okay.
And then there's an urge to release it. Yes, to
Mhm.
move it.
So could you let go wanting to do anything with or against that sensation or experience in the throat? As best you can.
That's a really hard one.
Could you hold on? Could you hold on to want to change it, to want to have it clearer?
Oh yeah, easily.
Good, good. And that already causes a release. So how does it feel now? Is it changing?
Getting tighter,
What did you say?
tighter.
Uh-huh. And is there still more wanting to hold on? To be clearer? To change? To release?
It's hard to say. It's not really about words, to be honest. It's just pure sensation right now.
Okay, good, good. Then
Um,
you're already beyond the wanting to change it. Then could you just notice that sensation?
can I notice the sensation?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can.
And then could you also notice where the sensation isn't? Notice some emptiness surrounding the sensation.
Yes.
Okay. And then could you notice the sensation again?
Yeah.
And then could you notice where the sensation isn't?
Yes.
And then could you notice any remaining sensation?
Yes.
And then could you notice where that sensation isn't?
Yeah. I can.
Okay. How are you now? How does it feel now?
Um, I'm not sure. I really don't know. I guess it's yeah. It's less. There's still stuff there, but it's less. If that makes sense.
Good. Good. Could you allow for that to happen?
I am. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I guess so. I can. Yeah.
Is there still something of that sensation?
Yes. There
Okay.
is.
Could you allow yourself to be in touch with that, no
Yes.
matter what?
Of course.
And if there's any wanting to hold on to that or save it for later, or could that be allowed as well?
Yes.
And then could you also notice where the sensation isn't? Could be the same
Yes.
location even where the sensation is or was.
Yes.
And could you notice any remaining sensation if there is?
Yes. I can.
And yes, good. And then could you notice where the sensation isn't?
Yes.
And then could you notice any remaining sensation?
Yeah.
And then could you notice where the sensation isn't?
Yes.
Could you notice any remaining sensation?
Yes. Yeah.
And then could you notice where the sensation isn't?
Yes. I can.
Mm-hmm. And how is it now, Michael?
It's very, I would say it's very clearer. Yes.
What is it? I didn't catch the word.
Clearer. It's much clearer. It's clear.
Oh, great.
Clear. Yes.
So isn't that what you wanted so far?
Yes, it certainly was. Yes.
Okay. So you now know what to do with your feeling by yourself. If there's more, you just
Yes.
welcome the feeling or the sensation or the emotion, and then you notice any wanting to do anything with or about or against this. And then you could also welcome where the sensation isn't.
Yes. That's the bit
Because
I
we,
always I get stuck at that. I get stuck at the wanting part. I find it very hard to do by myself. Everything
yes,
else is easy, but the wanting part's
yes.
tricky. So,
Maybe sometimes we need to do it a couple of rounds for ourselves until it starts, melting the whole
yes.
thing.
Yes. Thank you very much indeed. That was really useful. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you too. Okay. So there are more hands. Anne, am I saying this correct?
Yes, yes, you're saying it correctly.
Okay, Anne. So
Um,
how can I help you?
Hi, I could like you to help me to um I want to go forward with my business, but there
Mhm.
is something holding me back. I just instead of taking a step to do it, I'm very unconsciously creating the business around my schedule. So I
Yes.
did not do the step.
Okay. So is there any wanting to change that
Yes,
or to get things done?
yes.
Mhm. And is that coming from a wanting control, approval, security, or separation oneness? What's the underlying motivation?
Um, I think it's more in motivation that how can I motivate myself to do this?
Mhm. Are you wanting to figure it out?
Yes.
Could you hold on to that for a second? Really allow yourself to want to figure it out, to know.
Yes.
Mhm. Okay. I ask you now another question. What is the simplest or most outrageous thing you can do right now in order to go into proactive action regarding your business? There's something coming to mind?
Um,
That doesn't have to make sense at all, but
yeah,
can be sensible.
I think it's the fear of the unknown.
Okay. Did you fear the unknown for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Then could you just allow yourself to be open to the possibility that you are the unknown? Why having fear from yourself?
Yeah, the question. I'm afraid of being arrogant.
Okay. Is there wanting security?
Yes.
Could that be allowed to be here, that wanting security? As best you can.
Yes.
Mhm. And does it bring up more wanting to control or change or any other?
Wanting to wanting to control. Yes.
Mhm. And could that be allowed to be here as well, that wanting to control? Oops, I muted her. That was my activity. Can you unmute yourself again?
Oh.
Yes, thank you. What did you say in between?
I don't know. I think you asked me a question and I said yes.
So everybody knows the answer now. Okay. So how are you now? How does it feel now?
I think it's still the feeling of wanting approval.
Could you allow yourself to want approval as much as you do?
And there are two parts of the approval. I approve myself and I searching approval of others.
Mhm. Could you give yourself some approval directly? Could you let go of wanting to have it from yourself or others?
I have a little bit hard of doing that.
So maybe we'll look a little bit more holistically on that. Could you disapprove of yourself as much as you do?
I cannot do that neither.
Okay. Could you approve of yourself as much as you do?
Yeah.
Mhm. And then could you want approval of others or yourself as much as you do?
Yes.
And then could you have approval of others as much as you do?
It's just I'm hearing that I'm not allowed other approve of myself. I'm not open to receiving that.
And is that coming from another wanting? Wanting control, approval, security, separation, oneness?
Separation.
Okay. And could that wanting separation allowed to be here? Just for now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then could you notice to any sense that this is personal?
Oh, of
Or
course.
yes. And then could you allow it to appear as personal as it does?
Mm-mm.
And then could you allow it to appear as impersonal as it is possible?
Okay. Yes.
And could you allow it to appear as personal as it does?
Yeah.
And then could you allow it to be as impersonal as it is possible, or that you, how you would never think about it could be possible?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Just a little opening to a better outcome, you know? So how is it now? Is it changing?
So the thought comes to a different thing. Is that can I explore that too or no?
I think it's fine. We can just welcome that. So is it
The
something you want to share?
Yeah, the thought come up
Mhm.
to about wanting support from
Okay.
others.
Yes. So could you notice that wanting support from others?
Yeah.
Maybe you go looking somewhere who can help you with this or that.
It did feel very hard to accept support from others. I feel it hard for me to accept support from others.
Okay.
It's funny that I'm received support from you now, but there's just a thought come up that seems like I'm not allowing myself to accept support for me to grow.
Okay. Could you reject support of others as much as you do? Or as much as your mind tells you for a second?
Yes.
And then could you allow yourself to have support or to accept support of others as much as your heart wishes to? And we need to know we don't need to know how that looks like. It doesn't matter. And you don't need to know that for now. You don't need to figure that out for now.
It's just the
Just
emotion come up. I don't know where that comes from, but the emotion did come up.
okay, could you allow yourself to be in touch with that emotion? Since we have space here for emotions right now. Mhm.
Okay.
Is there any wanting to change that this is happening right now?
No.
No. Is there any underlying wanting for control, approval, security, separation, oneness?
Oh, the control.
Control, okay. Could you allow that to be here, that wanting to control?
Yeah.
Mhm. And then could you work into any sense that this is personal? That it says something about you or others that you know?
Yeah, it doesn't feel safe to accept support from others.
Yes. So here's another way of working on it. What do you dislike about getting support of others?
Yeah, the last time I allow support, it destroyed me.
Okay. And could you
Destroy
believe
me at
that
the
as
first.
much as you
Yeah.
do?
Sorry.
Could you believe that as much as you do?
Oh yeah.
What's easy?
It did.
Is there any wanting connected to that you can see? Any wanting control, approval, security?
Security.
Okay. And could you allow that to be here as best you can? And wanting
Yeah.
security? And then could you also allow for the sense of it being personal? How personal that feels?
Yeah.
And how are you now? How does it feel right now?
Very bad.
And is there any wanting to do anything with or about this? Any wanting to change it?
Yeah.
Mhm. And could you allow for that as well?
Yes.
And notice to any sense of identity with that, any sense that this is personal, or how
Straight.
personal it is today.
Yeah, very personal.
Mhm. How's it going with the emotion? Is it changing?
No.
Could you allow it to come up as much as there is? You don't have to express everything. You could just welcome it, allow it. But you can express anyway. Both are fine. Let me ask you another question. Is there something you could allow or something you would like about getting support of others? Is that bringing up something?
Feeling that I just have a feeling of if I allow support from others, I have to pay a greater price for that.
Oh, okay. Could you let go wanting to believe that you have to give something back in return? Sometimes we do give something back in return if we buy things, for an instance, but could you just be open to the possibility of receiving approval or support and that you don't have to give something back in return? You don't, that there's no contract.
And belief come up that I'm not a good person if I receive something for nothing.
Yes. And then could you allow yourself to hold on to that old belief as much as you do?
Yeah.
Mhm. And then could you just be open to the possibility that you don't need to do that? You could just decide.
The possibility is very slim.
Mm-hmm. Maybe at least there's a little bit.
Yeah.
And how do you feel now?
Still feeling pressure on my chest.
Mm-hmm. Could you, that pressure allowed to be here?
Yeah.
And is there any wanting to change that pressure?
I'd rather it go away.
So as best you can, could you let go of wanting it to go away?
Okay.
And then could you notice too where the pressure isn't?
Can you ask the question again, please?
Could you notice where the pressure isn't as best you can? Maybe you find a spot in the body mind where there isn't any kind of pressure right now.
Okay.
And then could you welcome or allow any remaining pressure, any sensation that we call pressure?
Okay, so the pressure on my chest is not there, but now I have it have pressure on my head, but almost like I want to explode.
Could you allow yourself to be in touch with that pressure on the head? And is there any wanting to change that experience?
Yeah.
And is there any underlying wanting for approval, security, separation, oneness? Control?
Did about there.
Mm-hmm. And could that allow to be here? Would that be allowed to be here?
Yeah.
As well as any sense that this is personal, that this sense of pressure belongs to you or An.
Yeah.
Then could you also notice where the pressure isn't?
Yeah.
What did you say?
I said yes.
And then could you welcome any remaining sense of pressure?
Yes.
And notice any remaining wanting to do anything with, about, or against this?
The message come up that the pressure there to stop me from receiving the guidance from the source.
Okay. Could you hold on to wanting to believe that for a second?
I don't want to believe that.
You want what? I didn't get that.
I don't want to believe that. I want to
Okay.
let that go.
Okay. Is there a wanting to release?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Could you let go of wanting to release and release instead as best you can?
I want to let that go, but it won't go.
Is there any underlying wanting, any underlying motivation for wanting control, approval, security, separation, oneness?
I think there's a security.
Mm-hmm. Could you want that as much as you do?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And could you allow yourself to have security as much as you do?
Yes.
And could you allow yourself to want security as much as you do?
Yeah.
And could you allow yourself to have security as much as you can?
Yes.
Is it changing, Anne? How is it now?
The pressure is still there, but I think the sense of security is gaining the sense of security.
Okay. Is there any wanting connected to that? Any other wanting?
Yeah, it's just the pressure on my head is still very strong.
Mhm.
More like it's going to explode.
And could you allow the pressure to become bigger for a second?
Yeah.
And could you allow the pressure to become smaller for a second?
No, it can't.
Are you trying to convince me?
Good.
Could you notice any space surrounding the pressure?
I'm hearing that it's ridiculous to chase after that.
Say that again.
I'm hearing that it sounds ridiculous for me to chase after pressure.
Isn't that just more pressure on the pressure?
I
How are you now?
did not realize how much emotion I'm holding in.
Okay. Is there any wanting to change that? Any wanting to be done with them?
Yeah. When is it going to stop?
Mhm. And what's the underlying motivation? Is that a wanting control, approval, security, separation, oneness?
It's in between separation and oneness.
Mm-hmm.
I want those to emerge together.
And could you allow yourself to want to be separate from emotions as much as you do?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
And could you allow for the absence of emotions anyway?
Yes.
Mhm. And could you allow yourself to want to be done with those emotions as much as you're still doing?
Yeah.
Then could you allow for the absence of emotions anyway?
Yes.
How does it feel now, Anne?
Uh, it. I think I have to work this on my own. It's just because a part of me wants to surrender, but the other part of me to say yes, right? But the emotion is not really letting go of the saying yes.
And could you allow yourself to want to surrender as much as you do?
Yes.
And could you allow yourself to surrender as much as you do anyway?
Yes.
And could you allow yourself to want to surrender as much as you do?
Yes.
And could you allow yourself to surrender as much as you do?
Yes.
And is that coming from a wanting control, approval, security, separation, oneness?
Control.
Mhm. And could that wanting control allow to be here? Be allowed to be here?
Yes.
And then could also be allowed any sense of identity with that, any sense that's personal about you or who you are.
Yes.
Mhm. And could you surrender as much as you do?
Yes.
How's it now, Anne?
Yeah. Uh, the mind keeps saying, "Oh, make a decision to be done with it already." Okay.
Okay. And how does it feel now?
Neutral. It's not lighter, not worse. It just
Okay. You think that's good for now?
yeah.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
You could just allow yourself to allow for the unraveling even after that support call.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you're very, very welcome. Thank you too. So I mute you. Oh, you did already. Fine. So who else? Lisa.
Hi, Christoph. Thank you.
Hi, Lisa.
There's been a momentum of good things happening, and I'm noticing the expectation of the other shoe to drop, or like fear, like of like putting like wanting to put the brakes on.
Yes.
So I would like to release on that, please.
Okay. Could you hold on to wanting to, to putting the brakes on? Did you say something, Lisa? If I'm not sure if we lost your.
Yes, I
Okay.
can.
And is there any underlying wanting for control, approval, security, separation, oneness?
Yeah, wanting security and control.
Okay. Yes. Could you be in touch with that color of wanting since it's more than one wanting?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Could you also notice any sense of identity with that? Any sense that's personal?
Uh-huh, yeah, there's a story there.
Mm-hmm. And then could you allow that to release?
I could allow it to release.
Mm-hmm. And what is happening after that decision?
There's like, I guess, some grief.
Mm-hmm. And could you allow the grief or sadness to be here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And is there any wanting to do anything with or about this or against this?
Maybe just a tiny bit.
Okay. And that
Yeah, like judgment, a little judgment.
you let that wanting to do something with or against this go.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. And is there any remaining wanting for security or any other wanting?
Yeah, wanting oneness.
Mm-hmm. And could that be allowed to be here?
Yeah, it's allowed.
Mm-hmm. And then notice how personal that appears to be. How that feels.
Yeah.
Mini mo, it's mine. No, it's not mine, it's yours. So how are you
Yeah.
now?
There's some calm and some space.
Okay. Could that be allowed to be as it is?
Yes, it is allowed.
Is there anything else appearing?
Yeah, there's like the wanting to figure it out.
Okay. Could you allow yourself to want to figure it out for a moment?
Yeah, I can.
And what's the motivation beyond that? Is that a wanting control, approval, security, separation, oneness that triggers the wanting
Yeah,
to figure?
wanting security.
Okay. And could you notice how personal that appears to be?
Yeah, like me being secure, me being secure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And could you notice the underlying security that you're looking for?
Oh, you said the underlying security that I am. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
I'm open to that possibility.
Is there still more?
What was that?
Is there still more wanting?
Yeah, there's a little bit of wanting to protect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Could you want to protect as much as you do for a second?
Yes, I can.
And then notice also any sense of that being personal about you.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, wanting to protect me.
Yes. Who is protecting who? Can you find
Great
the one?
question.
Can you find the one who's protecting themselves or himself,
Oh,
herself?
no, I
In that moment, if you don't go into the memory or focus on your body mind, can you find one who believed that? I had that. You really
No,
can?
I can't.
Okay. And how does it feel now, Lisa?
There's more settled, more settled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could that appearance allowed to be as it is?
Yes.
Yes. Are you okay with that for now?
Yes, I am. Thank you very, very much.
Yes, you're welcome. Okay. Good. There's just one hand left. It's Rosie. Rosie, can you unmute yourself? Yes. You
Yes.
can.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to release being able to go free and believing that I can go free.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't go into your memory of that, can you find one who can be not free or free? And the answer here can never be a thought or feeling.
There's a wanting to figure it out.
Okay. And could you allow for that to be here, that wanting to figure it out?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And what's the underlying motivation in this case? Is that a wanting control, approval, security, separation, oneness?
Control.
Okay. And could that wanting control allow to be here? What we
Yes.
noticed? I noticed here any sense of identity with that.
Yeah.
Mhm. And is there any other wanting for approval, security, separation, oneness connected to that? Apparently.
I'm just wanting oneness because there's a belief that I am not connected or I'm disconnected.
Okay. Could you allow yourself to appear as disconnected as much as you do?
Yes.
And could you allow yourself to be as connected as you are?
Yes.
And could you allow yourself to appear as disconnected as much as you do?
Yes.
And then notice any wanting to fix or change that?
Yes. Wanting to
Allow-
fix it.
Say that again.
Wanting to fix it, yes. Wanting to make it
Yes.
a certain way. Ah,
And could you allow yourself to be as connected as you are?
yes.
And is there any wanting associated to that?
There's some wanting approval.
Okay. And could that wanting approval allow to be here?
Yes.
Mhm. As well as any sense of identity with any of that.
Yes.
Mhm. And if there is or still is, could you allow yourself to appear as disconnected as much as you do?
Yes.
And could you allow yourself to be as connected as you are?
Yes.
How do you feel now, Rosie?
There's a big knot in my throat and there's grief.
Mm-hmm. And is there any wanting to change that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And is that coming from a wanting control, approval, security, separation, or oneness?
Control.
And could that wanting control allowed to be here or be noticed?
Yes.
And then notice any sense of identity with any of that, with the emotion or with the wanting.
Yes. Yeah, there's a identity of
Mm-hmm. And could you allow for that appearance?
yes.
And is there still any wanting to do anything with, about, or against this identity?
There's resistance to it.
Mm-hmm. Could you resist that as much as you do?
Yes.
Could you accept that as best as you can?
Yes.
Could you resist that as much as you do?
Yes.
Could you accept that as best as you can?
Oh. Yes.
It's like there's something melting.
Yes.
Could you resist that as much as you do?
Yes.
Could you accept that as best as you can?
Yes.
If there is, could you resist that as much as you still do?
Yes.
And then could you accept that as best as you can?
Yes. Yes.
How is it now, Rosie?
Yeah, it's more quiet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And could you allow for the quiet?
Yes.
Okay. Can I leave you with the quiet?
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much.
Good. We are a bit over time, but that's fine. I think everybody has gotten what they needed. So thank you, everybody. Today it's recorded. I hope so. I did push the correct button. So I will send the recording into the WhatsApp group. And yes, thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks.